you watch until the end of this video, you know exactly why you can't speak fluent English and exactly how to fix it. If you've been studying English for a while, but you can't speak it fluently, you might be wondering like why can't you speak English? You might think it's because you're not reading enough, you're not going to enough classes, you're not studying enough, but it's probably not any of those. Obviously, if you're not studying at all, then you're not going to get better, but it's probably not one of those. And the reason you're not fluent is it's very obvious, but you probably haven't thought of it. The reason you can't speak fluent English yet is because you don't actually speak English. So many people, they go to their classes, they'll read, they'll do all their written work, they'll change the settings on their phone, they do all the small, not insignificant things, but they do lots of small things instead of doing the big thing, which is actually speaking English. Being fluent in English, it comes from speaking the language. If all you did was speak English, you didn't do any studying, you didn't do any reading, didn't do any listening, your phone was in your native language, all you did was speak, your English would still be better than the person who only studied and who only read books and who only listened and who only did all the written work. Now if you study and you speak English, then you're going to get fluent so much faster. But the main thing for you right now is to start speaking English. Most people don't speak English because they don't know where to find people and because they're afraid to speak. So I'm going to give you 3 tips that'll fix both those problems. The first thing that you're going to want to do is to join a free online English community. I'll leave my one in the description. You can just go online and search free English online community. And the point of joining a community is you can find other people who want to speak English. So you won't be out there begging, feeling like you're begging people to speak English with you. No. You'll be surrounded by people who actually want to learn. Now the second thing is, once you're in those communities, you're going to want to message people and post you're looking for a partner. But not just any type of partner. The way that you can get rid of your fear of speaking English is to get a partner who's also learning English. Now, the reason you're afraid of speaking English is because you don't want to mess up and you don't want to get embarrassed or feel stupid or feel uneducated by messing up in front of a native speaker. But if you're speaking with someone who's also learning English, they're going to mess up. If I have an accent, then I can't make fun of someone else for having an accent. And if my grammar isn't absolutely perfect, then I can't make fun of someone else for not having perfect grammar. So when you speak with someone who's also learning, it takes away the fear because they physically can't make fun of you. It stops the fear from happening, so it takes away your fear. And when you're speaking with someone without fear, then you're going to speak more fluently during that activity, and also when you go out to speak in your day-to-day life. But the point I'm trying to make is that just speak with someone who's not a native speaker, because when you hear someone else make mistakes, then you're going to feel more comfortable making mistakes yourself. And you're not going to be afraid of messing up. If you hear someone make a mistake, then you're not going to be self-conscious about it. You're not going to feel self-conscious about your own mistakes. You're not going to feel embarrassed or worried when you make mistakes. So that's the main thing. Find someone who's not a native speaker in English and is also learning just like you. Now, if you're not sure what to say to them or what posts you should make or what messages you should send to them, I'll leave some messages and a post that you can use in the description. Now, the third thing is, once you join these communities and you start to message people, the third thing is to actually speak to people. And normally this would be difficult, but because if you're speaking with a non-native speaker, you're not going to feel afraid or scared or embarrassed to speak with them. So it's actually going to be quite easy. Just 3 things to worry about when you're calling someone. The first thing is, speak about a topic that you like. This is part of the messages that I'm going to give you. If you can find someone who likes the same topics as you, then it's going to be a lot easier to speak because you're both going to want to talk about the topic, which is going to make you speak more, which is going to help you get even more fluent in English. If there's a topic that you really like, but they partially like it, just ask if they would let you speak about that topic. Then you can let them speak about a topic that they really like. And that's going to help both of you improve. Another thing is, call someone who doesn't speak the same native language as you. If my native language is French, and I speak to someone who also speaks French, then we're probably going to end up speaking more French than English, which isn't going to help either of us get fluent in English. But if my native language is French, and I speak to someone whose native language is Spanish, both of us are going to be forced to speak in English. So that's the only language that we'll both understand. And that's going to help us get more fluent because we'll be practicing more often. So now you know where to speak English with people, and you know not to be afraid, because when you're speaking to someone who's also learning, they're going to make mistakes as well. And if you're making mistakes, you can't make fun of someone else for making mistakes. So that's going to take away your fear. And once you're no longer scared to speak to people in English, and you know where to speak to people, then you have no more excuses. You have to start speaking English. And when you start speaking English consistently, every single day, for just 5 to 10 minutes a day, that's when you're going to get more fluent, and that's what's actually going to help you sound like a native speaker and be more confident when speaking. I'll leave my free community in the description so you can find people to speak English with, and I'll put some messages and some posts in the description so you can message people and post about looking for a partner. And if you just speak to someone for 5 to 10 minutes a day about a topic that you enjoy, with someone who's not a native English speaker and doesn't speak the same native language as you, your English will improve by so much and you'll finally start speaking fluently.